I am Sadhana Shrestha, the Executive Director of TEWA. TEWA in Nepali means support, and we support women's groups all over Nepal by giving grants. When the earthquake happened on 25th of April, we were all devastated, but I think our groundings were very strong, our values, that we started relief work immediately on the fourth day. We were able to reach almost 112 communities in 15 districts, but wherever we went, we did a short needs assessment to see the need of the community before we gave them things or stuff that they didn't need. In the beginning days, it was just immediate relief that everybody else was doing, but wherever we went, we made sure that we looked at the most disadvantaged, the most excluded communities. We said, we're not very good with reconstruction and building. Well, what are we good at? We are good at building lives, working with communities. So we've started 3 projects working together with TEWA and Nagrik Awaz in this rebuilding and recovery. One is the Hamro TEWA Gaon Gharko Shadow Barefoot Volunteers. The other is an applied research in the Bhaktapur area, and the other is the Building Lives Inspiring Hopes, which Nagrik Awaz is leading. The Hamro TEWA Gaon Gharko program, the Shadow Barefoot Volunteers, we've recruited about 22 volunteers from different districts not affected by the earthquake. We have put the volunteers through a 5-day reflection and organizational thinking through whether they would be willing to volunteer in the 6 districts. So they are there as a support to the community. They are there as the helping hands because the community is traumatized. So they are hands-on, either dismantling the houses, planting the seeds, looking after the children, talking about health and hygiene. And now slowly they've started doing trainings to the volunteers. They have received immense support from the Barefoot volunteers. They've given them a hope and inspiration to live and not be in that trauma. These cooking classes to the school children and parents and the teachers. Now they don't bring the noodles to school and fast food. They've started cooking. We just saw the shops that they have opened, and they are selling this food. But more than that, they've also started forming loose women's groups who haven't been registered. They've registered these women's groups, and they're building the women's agency, registering them, talking to them about violence against women, how they address it, how they talk of women's rights, and how strength in the communities can be built by the communities themselves. So it is a unique model. We're still testing it, but I think it's the first of its kind in the world. We will disseminate this information, we will talk about the report, but we are getting in feedback from the communities themselves, from the donors, from the staff, and from our volunteers, so that we can replicate it to other affected districts, but we can also take it to districts that have not been affected, but how do they prepare for disaster? That's something that is there at the back of our mind for a replicability and sustainability model of this project. Trust that Fondation de France has put on TEWA is very appreciable. I'm very grateful to Fondation de France for reaching out to us and supporting us, and they have received it with much joy. Thank you very much.